Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat with me, Jody Misiak. And today I'm going to really share something that stops our dreams, our goals. Even though we want to do them, it stops us right in our track. And we just never make them happen, or we put them off for years and years because of one thing. Before I get to that, though, I just want to quickly mention a couple things that I've been up to myself, a couple updates real quick, because I haven't been posting as much in here. And I've been really on the back end working. And so I've redone my website. So if you want to check it out, it's www.jody, the Y, Misiak, MYCIAK.com. And I have just put together, I've been really working on something special for the holiday season. I've been doing it for 2 years now, where I do 12 days of self-love. The first year it was self-care, but now I've kind of really put it together and it's called 12 days of self-love. And you'll actually find that under the free gift section on my website. And it starts December 10th. So I'll tell you more about that later, but literally I recommend booking off some time every day during those 12 days for about at least 10 minutes, more like 15. And if you can give 20 a day, that would be ideal. But I just finished putting that all together for you. And so that will start December 10th. And then the sign up so you can get everything, notifications and things before, or little reminders. Will be set up soon, and we'll get together and start December 10th. And I literally have recordings for you every day, and you can follow every day. And there's like a little, I call it an activity, something fun to do for you. And it just really, I do this every year. Like I said, third year now, and I've just really have been crafting it to something that I really want it to be. And it's really important over the holiday season to do something for you, because we get so busy, like, oh, I need to do this. I need to buy these gifts for so-and-so, or I need to make, cookies or suppers. And you just get so caught up in the holiday busyness. Like, life in general is busy enough. So this is why I do the 12 days of self-love. And again, it used to be 12 days of self-care, so you'd always do something. But I've really self-love means that you're doing self-care activities. So I've really put those together, and it goes even deeper than just self-care. You really get to fall in love with yourself over the holiday season. So I'm really excited about it this year, because I spent the whole day yesterday recording and putting it together for you. So it's coming together. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. So back to what stops us from going after our dreams, going after our goals. And maybe they're actually dreams and they never get to goals. So let me back up a second. And where I got inspired by all this actually is I was working out with Jillian Michaels yesterday. Well, I was working out to her DVD. I don't actually know her personally, but I do like to say that I'm working out with Jillian Michaels because it's a lot of fun instead of just saying a DVD. Anyways, she was at the end of the workout. She said something that was like an aha moment came to me. And I know I've heard it before, and I've even think I said it myself, but when you have somebody else saying it, it was after a workout. So my brain's really clear after a workout. And I usually, my brain really, like, I really get some awesome flow going on. So it just really hit me yesterday. She said, being perfect, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. So that goes for working out, of course. If you've never worked out before, or if you've never done, say like kickboxing or even Zumba, if you've never danced before and you jump into a Zumba class, you are going to trip over your feet. You're going to look a little foolish. It's okay. We've all been there. And it's about progress. So it's about showing up again and doing it. It's about showing up, even though you might look foolish. So why do I say that being perfect stops us from keeping us back and stopping our dreams from going anywhere or happening? Is when we think we have to be perfect at something to do something, we'll procrastinate, we'll put it on hold, like, oh, not right now. It's not perfect. I had a plan where my son was supposed to be in daycare 2 times starting September. I had it all planned out. I had 2 full days of work that I could just all mine. I didn't have to do it on his nap time or in the evenings or weekends. 2 full days. We get the news that there was a mix-up with the paperwork and he couldn't get in. I wanted to throw in the towel. I won't lie. I wanted to throw in the towel and be like, I can't work the weekends, evenings, and on naps only anymore. Like, I was really excited to be able to, clean the house and do some stuff that's been really been put on hold. And because I don't put self-care on hold, I do that. So if anything, it's going to be cleaning that gets put on hold. And I like to spend time with my kids. So that's something else I do not put on hold. So I could have thrown in the towel. But what did I do? I kind of rejigged. I was gentle on myself. I'm like, okay, clearly I don't have 2 full days to work, but that doesn't mean I can't work or that I shouldn't work or that, like, I kept going. And I stayed optimistic that we would have a spot at daycare soon. We were persistent in talking to the daycare, and sure enough, they had a spot open only one day in October, and they don't normally take one day only. But we have my daughter's been there for daycare, and she goes to forest school there. So for kindergarten, JK and SK. So we managed to get a day. We still only have one day, but one day is better than no days. And so I could have let that stop me from doing what I love to do. I could have used that as an excuse. When things aren't perfect, we can use it as an excuse to not go after what we want. So today, I really want you to ask yourself, sorry, I was looking at my note real quick. Where have you been waiting to be perfect at something to do it? Or you've been putting something off because you're like, oh, I have to wait until I'm perfect. I'm at the perfect weight. I need to have the perfect job before I go after this. Maybe it's before becoming a mom. Like, I need to have the perfect job, the perfect house, or everything in place. I definitely know people that needed to have all their ducks in a row before being a mom, and then their ducks never came. And we're all on our journeys and we all get to discover, but it's just look at your own life and where in it are you maybe using waiting to be perfect as an excuse. Here's another one for me is I thought, here I am going through for a master empowerment coaching. And I think in certain areas I slowed down. One, because I was planning a wedding. Another one, I had our daughter. And then I actually had our son before graduating. So it was a long process, but I stuck with it. However, some of those moments I slowed down because I didn't think I was perfect enough to be an empowerment coach. I wasn't empowered enough to be a coach. The funny thing is, once I graduated and I actually became the coach and I owned it, and I went to and became an entrepreneur, I skyrocketed in my empowerment. I grew like a crazy amount after stepping over that line and being like, yeah, I'm an empowerment coach. It was in those moments that I went past and was like, okay, I can do this. Even if I'm not perfect, I can do this. It was in those moments that I grew the most. I thought I had to be perfect. And these are just 2 areas in my life that, could have really slowed me down. And the one really did. And I'm here today to remind you that it's not about being perfect. Like I mentioned about Zumba. I'm sure there's tons of people out there that tried it once and gave it up. If you have no dance background or you're not very coordinated, it's going to take a while. The best example of not giving up are children. So first they're born, they can't even sit up. And then they figure out how to sit up. Their bodies are strong enough to sit up on their own. Maybe they still fall down now and then. Maybe they still need support with a pillow, but they're doing it. And then all of a sudden they, depending on the kid, because some kids jump stages, but let's do the typical child. Then all of a sudden they get adventurous and they go on their bellies, and then they like start figuring out what their legs do, and then their arms, or vice versa. And all of a sudden now they're crawling. And then when you take your eyes off of them, they're standing. And then they take their first step, something they've never done before. And then they fall down. But they do it again. And then they fall down. And who knows how many times they try that before they actually walk. And then once they figure out walking, or when they're like feel a little bit more comfortable, then they start running and then climbing. So we have to have that spirit of children within us, where who cares if we fall down? Who cares if, we make mistakes? Mistakes are like there's really fun. I don't have the quote on me. It just came to me now, but there's been saying where, the reasons millionaires are millionaires, or people that are, running huge companies, because they made the most mistakes. We grow the most when we make mistakes. As long as we, don't look at them like, oh, failure, and hold on to it as a negative thing. Be like, what can I learn from this? What can I pick up? What kind of pieces can I pick up? Bring them back together, paste them, glue them back together, and create something that I was trying to do, or, really stepping forward. Let's, look at our growth, or in our experience and things, more like children, where they're learning to walk. If children would give up after falling down from walking, there'd be a lot of adults not walking right now. And I don't even know what that would look like. But it's not about giving up, and it's not about being perfect. It's about one step in front of the other. You can have a ginormous goal. Trust me, I have a lot of them. And you can get overwhelmed about like, how do I get from here to like way over on like a couple mountains from here? It's not about that. It's like, what's the next kind of steps? So it's even about riding a bike. If you ride a bike, you know that you didn't just get on there and take off. It took time. So again, support of possibly training wheels, or an adult holding your bike. So, and encouraging you. These are all things we need together. And this is why I love what I do. I'm there for you, to support you, to encourage you, and to motivate you forward, so we can take off those training wheels. And so you feel comfortable until you're ready to stand on your own and to walk. And yeah, it's not about being perfect though. Perfection just like stops us dead in our tracks. Here's one more story from my own life that I could have really ran in the other direction, and I didn't. So years ago, I was at the gym 7 days a week. That's besides the point. But anyways, I made friends with the manager at the gym, and she loved that I showed up, and I loved fitness, and she encouraged me to sign up to be an instructor. So I took the course. I'm like, sure, why not? Like, this is fun. I love being at the gym. And so I did it. And I went through the program, and I was done. And like, it was almost like 2 seconds after being done my training, I got a call from a friend who has a dance studio that had fitness classes, and she needed help. Oh my goodness, let me tell you. One, I just finished my training. I didn't actually I didn't have my own class yet. I literally was just fresh out of the training. And I was like, oh my goodness. And yes, there's fear of the unknown. I didn't feel like I was perfect yet. I didn't have like a million classes under my belt. And I said yes anyways. And it was amazing. Was my first class nerve-wracking? Yeah. I think by the end though, I finally was like, yeah, I got this. And I had crazy amount of different, like I was just filling in for somebody. And eventually I was her go-to when people wouldn't make it. And then eventually I taught there. And not like this is part of the story, but I actually met my husband there as well. So who knows what will happen if you just take action? Even if you feel the fear and do it anyways. And it's okay. I'm sure some people, like, I probably wasn't perfect for those people in the class, but at the same time, like, I was so ready. I was at the gym all the time. Like, I knew what I needed to do, but I could have let that imperfection, because I wasn't even at my ideal body weight. And I was like, well, I don't look like a fitness instructor. How can I teach that class? That thought was in my head. I'll be completely honest. That thought was there. You can do whatever you put your mind to. But you can't get to like point A to point B just by jumping. You got to like go along your way and learn and grow and build. So today, find something or look at your life where you're like, oh, I've been putting this off for whatever reason, probably something that you're not perfect, that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, and take at least one step in that direction. Just one. If you need support in this, because that's what we're all here for. We're here to support one another. We're here to cheer each other on and be like, yes, you can do this. Contact me, private message me, reach out to me, comment below here. Whatever you need to do, reach out to me. I'm here to support you. I'm here to be your training wheels or that pillow around you while you're just getting your strength. We're all on a journey and we're all at different stages, but we're all growing and moving forward together. So I hope this has helped. And I really encourage you to sign up for the 12 days of self-love. It's going to be a lot of fun. And when we have that self-love behind us, we know that we don't have to be perfect to move forward. We realize that we're good where we are. And yes, we can grow and we can get better. And I like actually improve. And because there's no such, like, you're awesome as you are. We don't have to be better. We just need, improvement and improving and growing, really about growth. So yeah, do something today that you've been putting off because you weren't ready or you're not good enough, and see what happens. It's pretty magical when you just move forward regardless of if you're ready or not. Think about parenthood. I've never dealt with a newborn before. I never gave labor before, but I did it anyways. So I'm going to leave you here because I'm going over the time. But I hope you have a beautiful day. And I'd love to hear what steps you've been taking, what actions you're about to do. And then we can hold each other accountable. I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye for now.